Not talking.
Yeah. Okay. I hereby call this Carbon County School District 2 regular board meeting and budget amendment hearing to be later to order. Pledge of Allegiance, Mr. Manning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Item 2A. We need to get a motion to approve.
Yeah, I'm gonna do first.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, just real quick too, Mike, are you still on Zoom? Are you on Zoom?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. He's the only one that's on remotely. Okay, item 3, presentation recognition. We don't have any. Or do we have item 4, correspondence this month? 5, no resignations. Item B, Copeland.
Item B is to consider opening a contract to Alyssa Lewark. I'm not sure how you say it. Is that how you say it? Good. For the 2021 school year, current assignment will be HEM Ag teacher pending certification.
Chairman, I move that we offer a contract to Alyssa Lewark for the 2021 school year for the HEM Ag teacher pending certification.
Second.
Moved and seconded to offer a contract to Alyssa Lewark for the 2020-2021 school year. Current assignment be HEM Ag, pending certification. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Item C.
Item C is to consider offering a contract to Jamie Lee for the 2021 school year. Current assignment will be kindergarten teacher at SES. This is to replace Amanda Ruland, who recently resigned.
Mr. Chair, I recommend that we offer a contract to Jamie Lee for the 2021 school year. Current assignment will be kindergarten teacher at the Saratoga Elementary School.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to offer contract to Jamie Lee for the 2020-21 school year. Current assignment will be kindergarten at Saratoga Elementary School. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And comment, you mentioned before the meeting that there may even be 3 sessions in Saratoga. You're having so many kindergartners enroll,
Yes.
or you're discussing it anyway.
Right. Right now we have 37 kids registered, so we'll probably have a little over 40. So we're doing two kindergarten teachers and then long-term sub.
That's
So
our
we're kind of what we're looking at.
current
That's
plan.
your current plan. Okay, good news anyways. Okay, item 6A. Report, Mr. Copeland.
Okay, the enrollment report is there, and this compares it to a year ago also. So we're 10 down from a year ago, so we've kind of come back. We started the year and then we lost some, and especially the Saratoga schools. So now we're as close as we've been all year to last year. So we ended the year with 587, whereas last year it was 597. And you can see where those areas are by campus and also by attendance area. In Canton was up 1 from a year ago. The northern schools are up 9, and Saratoga was down 20 from that kind of unusual year where we had up to 180, over 180 at one point in Saratoga. Item 2, we had this is when I usually give the end of the year homeschool update, and I just attach that list with the names and all the ones you approved throughout the year. So that's just kind of a summary of our homeschool students and where they're located and so on and so on. So that's attached, and obviously with names and confidential, other confidential information. I don't go through each of that, but you have access to that. So.
I don't know if it matters, but on the second page, I noticed like the age and the grade was reversed.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Okay.
Thank you.
Update on summer facility projects. We have the SES and encampment security vestibules. They were scheduled to start work on June the 1st. They called the week before and said that due to COVID, they were having trouble getting things like fire rated doors and so on. And so they, rather than do the demolition and then it sit there for 3 weeks, they would rather wait till the 22nd to start and then just continuously have the job completed. They didn't seem to have any issue with being done by the end of, or by the first day of students next year. So they are slated to start the 22nd, and that's at Encampment and SES, the only two campuses that do not have a security vestibule. Medicine Bow and Elton Mountain would probably be the next two, but they are designed so that they have 2 interior doors. We would have to alter a little bit the door into the office, but it's a little bit easier to fix. So we will probably look at that in the future, but these will be our last 2 large campuses that without a security vestibule that will have one. And they will be very similar to the ones we have where they come in and then they're buzzed into the actual main part of the building once they've been identified through a window and all of that. So we're looking forward to getting that done. Paved parking lots are in the process of getting seal coated. They've already done the 2 Saratoga campuses, I think. They may not quite be finished with SCS, I'm not sure.
It'll be ready to drive on.
Okay. And they're going from there to Encampment and then to HEM. Obviously, they're not doing HES because that's involved in that whole other job where they'll redo the parking lot. The third project, and probably the biggest one as far as the biggest scope and mess and everything, to be quite honest, is Hannah Elementary. I don't know how many of you have been up there since they started, but it is an extensive thing that they're doing.
It looks like they're checking hand grenades out there.
There's a lot of aspects to it that that normal people, well, non-engineers don't think about. So they drilled all of these holes that are about 4 inches, I would guess, pretty close together. I don't know how many feet apart they are, maybe 5 feet or 6 feet, I don't know. But all through the parking lot, all through the playground area, the front lawn, all behind the school. And they began supposedly pumping matrix with Darren and Nolan. All 3 of us went up there last week in person to the meeting, and Darren said he's going to go tomorrow to the meeting in person, 9 o'clock in the morning. They meet weekly just to see where they are on their schedule to compare notes. And there are a lot of moving pieces. There's not just one company doing all of this. There's several different contractors and engineers and all involved. But one of the things they found was that as they were drilling into this and as pressures changed, it began popping off those PVC caps off of those pipes. And I was kind of hoping one would happen when I was there just to see it, but it created obviously a hazard. So they're trying now to equalize the pressures. They're worried about things like groundwater. They don't want the groundwater to go up or down the line. So there's just a lot of engineering things that lay people like myself. I shouldn't say normal. Sorry, Cassie. I didn't say normal. That lay people do not even think about or consider. So, but it is a huge project. It's a big mess, and they have found and decided on a reclamation company to come back and redo what they're messing up. One of the things that they're doing is building 2 underground retaining walls underground that will keep the matrix in place around the school. So anyway, if you're in the area, you want to see a big, huge project going on, drive by Hannah Elementary. If you need to get into the building, that's pretty restricted. You have to go, they tell you which door is safe to go in and all because of all the work that's going on. So it's it's a pretty big deal, and they're a little worried about the timeline, as you can imagine. So we're worried a little bit about the timeline. So that's what's going on up at Hannah, and next year, we're told that they're going to do the football field pretty much the same way, and then have to replace the sprinkler, the turf, the track itself. So that's the next phase as far as something that we're connected with. They are doing test holes, drillings around HEM this month, and I think right now even, and they're gonna see what's going on there, and then that's just what's connected with the schools. There's other parts of the town that they're working in simultaneously. So quite a lot of activity going on up at around the HES area. So we are very much hoping that they stay on schedule. Right now they are, but it is just a very large project and a very tight timeline. Item 4, school board election. We just start putting that on there about now. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 positions up for re-election or election. That would be Joe, sorry I misspelled your name there, Joe Gaspery. Area 3, which is the town of Saratoga. Paul Clark, Area 1, which is north of I-80 plus the town of Elk Mountain. Georgia, Area 2, south of I-80 minus the towns of Elk Mountain and Saratoga. And then Mike Gordon, who is Area 4, which is at large. The filing period is from August 5th through August 24th. So start putting that reminder on there so everybody knows the timelines and take care of all of that. So, any questions?
Where are we at with JD?
He has a house that's available the 22nd. That's the only reason he's not here. He's going to be here, he says, the 22nd. And it was a house that was formerly a Airbnb. And they decided with the questionable markets of Airbnb for the coming year, they just assumed rent it for the next year. So he came once, and we thought we were going to have a little more time, but his wife called him, and they had a huge storm go through. He had a tree over in the yard and water in the basement, so he had to leave to go back home. His oldest daughter they dropped her at CSU to do some summer work there, and then his younger daughter was with him also, and before she went back. So looking forward to being here. So should be around the area 22nd of June. So glad to get him here so he can help with all the July work that we're going to be working. So, and by the way, one addition, sorry. Principal up at HES is already here. They bought a home. They closed on it in Hannah. It's up above the building. It was a bank. It's now a house. It's somewhere back up in there.
Cool.
So
He didn't rent from the same apartment that Jason?
No.
I don't think you can highly recommend it.
So they moved there.
Well, they're keeping their house, I think, down in the Harmony area, but they have a house there. And she's already been emailing and gotta pick up her laptop and do all this work. So she's excited to be started.
Okay, thank you. Noel?
Chair, members of the board, my report is attached. I mentioned work on the district reopening plan. We completed the consolidated grant last week. The rumors that we're going to have to make some changes already. I'm betting that it's not my section though. I just worked really hard at that section. Michelle McWayne and I were starting work on those sketch code updates that I mentioned last month or the month before. I'm losing track of time, but again, we're piloting for the state. It's a statewide sketch codes are used to identify the courses students are taking in high school, especially useful for any transfers and things like that. So we volunteered to be a part of that. Going to get a little bit more hands-on help with that and be ahead of the curve when the state finally decides to change that over. So working on that slowly. Most of my time has been trying to connect beyond this, connecting with the new teachers, the 2 new teachers that we approved their contracts today. I'll email them tomorrow and make sure I can get them any things to give me a jump start on preparing for the school year. I lost my place. Nanette and I and the whole A team really have been working on a rough plan for what our PD is going to look like at the beginning of next year. I know that Nanette and I have talked about some Schoology trainings that we might be able to get out to teachers this summer, just to help them get to that mindset of potential online learning. If it comes to that, that was a big response we received from our annual survey at the end of the year about what teachers would like to see. So we want to give them some resources maybe to think about over the summer. So it's not just everything at once when we restart in the fall. Finishing up some purchases. We're now completely independent from the iPads. The iPads, we were using those for some of our textbooks and some of our classes. Made some major purchases for social studies teachers, science teachers were the biggest ones. So we've got all those coming, which is good, depending on how we move on with technology. But I think iPads are definitely being phased out for use like they were with the textbooks. And then I think the best part of my report here at the end, just about the A team and I, we met in June to determine the teacher of the year and staff member of the year. Staff member was something I added on there just to give a little bit more recognition to people other than the teachers. So we had the following individuals that were nominated: Jackie Jones and Sarah Jones from Hannah Elementary School, Stephanie Long and Marissa Palm from Saratoga Elementary School, and then Leslie Uransky for SMHS, Saratoga Middle High School. And then staff members that were nominated: Mary George at AGS, Becky Crusoe at Encampment, Wendy Lund and Sue Malone at Saratoga Elementary School, Michelle McWayne from SMHS, Courtney Priest from Medicine Bow, Zach Schmidt from SMHS, and then Andy Ward, obviously from the district. And very happy to say that Stephanie Long was our finalist for Teacher of the Year this year, and Andy Ward, our district staff member of the year. So obviously all those individuals deserve a lot of credit for what they did, especially at the end of the year. Beyond that, all of our staff. I know trying times, but appreciate all the work and adaptations that people make. I've talked to the winners. We've sent out letters now to everyone just to let them know how it went. And then we're planning something. We'll see what it looks like in the fall, but something to honor the winners this fall, as well as giving them some awards. So kudos and congratulations again to all those individuals for all the hard work.
Thanks, Noel.
Nice to see your face.
It's great to be here, although I miss having a table.
I miss your plant or whatever was in the background.
I don't know, that's 6.
Okay, any audience comment or this time? Not a lot of audience. Some left. I lost our audience. We have no unfinished business at this time. Item 9A under new business, consider the Region 5 BOCES mill levy donation request. Region 5 BOCES, of course, again requested 0.2 mils for the upcoming school year. Last year we donated 1 mil. 0.1. Yes, thank you. 0.2 mils. Makes a pretty big difference.
Yeah, this was, when I came, we were doing this pretty much, I'm not sure how long, but for a while, I guess. And then we did not do it when we thought, trying to make our budget situation with BOCES, equal out with revenues and looking forward. And then budgets were a little tighter there at the state level for a year or two. And then last year, we reinstated the 0.1 mil after discussion and after the request last year. So they, of course, Dan, the director of Region 5 BOCES, request that. We are considered a member of that BOCES, and they do a lot of good work. And when we need them, we really need them. And we have used them last year, not this currently year, but the year before. And then we used them this year in that they provided the mentor for Drew Leach, our school psychologist, to finish up his degree and complete his mentorship. So they have done some really good services for us, and I think they do a good work. So I have no issue with continuing that. So.
The 0.1 mil is about $12,000.
This year it ended up being 14.87128. Exactly. Sorry.
That comes out of general.
No, it's BOCES.
It
Oh,
came-
it's above
the-
it used-
yeah.
I think it did before, didn't it? At one point?
No,
It's
it's
always
always
just
come out of
been-
BOCES, it's part of your BOCES share. Next year, your BOCES revenue is gonna be 87,000, where this year it was, between 65 and 70. I don't have that right in front of me.
The
And so,
BOCES mill is 0.5 or
Yeah.
tax, so it's 20% of what BOCES takes.
yeah, so,
That's 16,000, a little over.
yeah.
16, 17.
And we just went through the BOCES preliminary budget at BOCES meeting, which was back at 2:45. And it was in the budget and it was fine.
Mhm.
in our budget.
So it'd be 17,530.
I know it was in like 12,000.
Yeah, so yeah.
But I think Region 5 BOCES does a great job. They don't get any state support. And yet they're taking kids that are
Challenges.
challenges, yeah, in more ways than one, not only physically, but emotionally and stuff. So I would, Mr. Chair, I move that we continue with the 0.1 mil.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we continue with the 0.1 mil donation to Region 5 BOCES. Is there any discussion before we go to vote? I guess I think they do good work. I just wish they were funded directly from the state if it was that important instead of.
Well, and just as a comment, follow-up comment to that, probably one of the things that the state's philosophy on that is that they have been funding, 100% of SPED. So when we send a student there, we get that funding to pay for that student. So I mean, indirectly, they just don't support facilities, which is their main need. Just the
Right.
facilities.
17,000 probably doesn't even pay for one kid.
Oh,
Not even close.
no,
Per month,
not
maybe.
even
Not
close.
even a month.
Not even, yeah.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Like she said, yes.
All right. Have that delay for Mike. Yeah, if you'll just tell us what he votes, that'd be great. Okay, B,
9B, consider handbooks, again, really, because of my fault, I totally blanked out that, I take the handbooks from the principals, and if they say very, minor changes, then I don't pay a lot of attention, which I guess I should pay a little closer. But remember back in March, we were gonna bring back the overnights policy regulation. And then COVID hit, we didn't really meet March normally, and then we didn't do policy since then. So Karen actually caught it, so
I read 'em all.
she's paying attention, this meeting with
I
that.
was trying.
So we have the wrong information in there about
Need something to do.
the overnight. So we were gonna clarify that. Dana and I talked a little bit, but we had 45 minutes before the BOCES meeting started. So these are online, so I would really prefer we just wait on those, get the correct information that then we can approve, and then make sure it's correct in the handbooks before we have to amend and all that. Since they're online, I doubt people are waiting to read the handbook at this point. I think we can wait till the July meeting and do all that. So that's, my recommendation is just to take no action, wait on that for a month.
So do we need a motion to table this for a
I
while?
Bill, I don't think so, rather than.
just take no action.
Okay.
Good question. Okay, item C, consider the Carbon County School District 2 BOCES preliminary budget for the 2020-2021 school year as presented.
I look at Sally, and there's a budget. We did have the BOCES meeting, they, approved the preliminary budget, and then I'll let Sally make any other comments about it in general.
Well, basically, from what you have on your board agenda last month, we increased the tax revenue to reflect the 87,000 because of the increase in assessed valuation, and Brett got all of her different grants put in there. So the BOCES is requesting approval of a preliminary budget of $320,729.30. That's the revenue that they'll have available. It'll change a little bit between now and your formal final budget on July 15th, but this allows them to continue to spend money between July 1st and July 15th by approving this preliminary budget. So that would be your motion, is to approve a budget of $320,729.30. And they have a carryover over
Where's that?
$150,000. I don't know if it's
That's
on,
different
it's on the
than
BOCES agenda under budget, but I
Yeah,
don't think
because
it's
these
in it.
numbers.
These numbers don't
Same.
match.
Say that number again so somebody can write it. I got it. Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize that it had been updated on the BOCES agenda, and I didn't update it onto our agenda, but I will correct it.
$729.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion for that amount that I didn't hear or remember.
$320,729.30.
And I second.
Try to tell you which person.
And this is the point, just like our regular school board budget, a bunch of that is cash carryover. So like 180,000 of that 320 or something was cash carryover. Not like we're spending 320,000. Okay, any other discussion? Joe, the chairman, any discussion? Okay. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Heard you, Mike. Oh. Okay. Item B,
This was something the town of Hannah came to me, the HES project folks built basically a road between where you cross the bridge. Normally, you know, you have to take a left and go around some blocks to get to HES. Well, they just built a road straight off of there across the old Hannah Elementary site. So they can just take their truck straight over to HES. Well, the town came to me, and Mayor Buchanan actually contacted me, and they would like to maintain that road after this project. In talking last week to the contract in that weekly meeting, they would like it kept there, even though they're going to be finished, they're going to be going into the football field the next year. So they would like it maintained for their own purpose, at least for the year. So what Mayor Buchanan told me is they would like it to make it basically just a town street, but that then we would have to figure out, Bill would have to help us to how to proceed with either a right of way or survey it out or whatever we want to do to it, whatever Bill says we have to do, which is not going to be a quick process because as we know, with property and facilities and all of that stuff, we're waiting for the final piece. We think that next July we'll get to approve the final agreement on the old Medicine Bowl football field that we've worked on for some months. So I basically just wanted to make sure or see if the board was okay with us to proceed with that.
so you drive across the overpass and you go straight into the school that way.
So now, how is that gonna divide up property?
It's right on the edge. It's not
gonna divide
It's on the line, basically.
So it doesn't affect the usability of that walk? Probably improves it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any bad things with that road being there. I think it's a great idea. It's a straight shot, straight to the school, straight to the football field. You don't have to go around and through. Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I believe if it's gonna be a permanent use, you'll have to get school facilities approval. Wyoming law does require it ultimately to be surveyed, meets and bounds description for any type of easement. We have to obviously negotiate if it's gonna be a 10-foot, 50-foot, how wide of a use it's gonna be. And
And the board just needs to understand if you give a permanent easement, you can't just give the property away. It really doesn't give-
Is there an advantage to maybe survey it out, donate the property, or is it better to have an easement? If you're gonna have to have it surveyed out anyway.
It's probably better to give an easement. If the road's ever vacated, it would go back to you. So I guess in that sense, it's probably wouldn't have to, the other. If they build a road there, they're probably not gonna vacate. Yeah, probably better just to give it.
So basically, we just need a motion to let Bill begin to work on that.
Is there any downside to having it?
I'm like Paul, I
It's
can't.
not
really
like
see
you
it.
can't make it any uglier with the road.
No.
You know, it's straight off, you get from the viaduct straight to the school, you don't have to go down around and through.
Right.
So it's right there, I don't know if the people, do they live right, are those houses vacant or?
Yeah, the house right off 77.
Yeah, is that,
It's vacant.
is it vacant?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
There is a house over there, but it's adjacent to the new Hannah Element, across from the road, you know, because the road goes all the way behind the AGS, behind AGS, where they kind of have their staging area back there,
Yeah.
for storage and all.
Then all that road's gonna quit right at AGS eventually. The one we're just talking about is where the old
Basically, that
swimming
one, that
pool
block.
used to be up on the hill. I don't see any problem. I think it actually helps it. Mr. Chairman, I move that we ask Bill to start muddling through a easement. Is that right, Bill?
Muddle, my middle name here.
To the city of Hannah for the old Hannah Elementary right away.
I think we wanted the direct superintendent to work with Bill.
The superintendent to muddle with Bill.
We don't want to
Yeah,
muddle,
go
we want it
muddle.
done right, not that you need a muddle. The muddle fee is significant.
Yeah, that's right. All right, thanks. Can we get a second?
Second.
Okay, thanks. All in favor of doing that, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 10, the consent agenda.
That we approve the consent agenda as presented.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item 11A, treasurer's report, Ms. Wells.
The treasurer's report, as of the end of May, you had $6,165,739.92 in your general fund. You can see there your revenue and reimbursed expenses in your May bills and May payroll. Your major receipts in section 2 from the State of Wyoming Foundation and the Carbon County Treasurer. And then in section 3, your investments at the various rates and maturities. WildStar did go down to 0.5%, but it's still better than 0.3 that CDs are going at now. So it's doing pretty good. Do you have any questions regarding your general fund? Your other funds treasurer's report, you see there that we're exhausting our grants like we're supposed to. I think that that's a good thing, and as Noel said, the new 2021 grant has been submitted, it's up for review. You see your comparison between payroll of May of 2019 and May of 2020. The May of 2020 does not include your bonus, that will happen in June, because that happened on June 1st, so just FYI, that bonus is not included there.
The main difference in gross pay there just being classified as
You're not working, but no bus driver, or very few bus drivers, not very much classified. You see your scholarships, there were no new scholarships issued during the month of May. You have your balances on your employee benefit fund, your major maintenance fund, your capital construction fund, your depreciation reserve, your lunch fund, your CAMET activity fund, your HANA activity fund, and Saratoga activity fund, and then your Medlo lodging deposit account is still there at $15,000. Any other questions on page number 2 is all of your other funds? Did you have any questions regarding your summary for your expenses and revenue? They were showing your revenue at 98% at the end of May. And after we received the treasurer's money for June, or for May collections in June, your revenue is at 106.94%. So we're ahead about between $800 and $1 million ahead in revenue. Thereby, you have a budget in the carrying company. Any other questions regarding anything? Thank you. That concludes my report.
Mr. Chair, the budget committee met with Sally and she explained everything to us to our satisfaction. And I make the following motion that we approve paying the following bills. General fund, $426,441.39. Federal fund, $34,427.41. Major maintenance fund, $5,732.36. Depreciation reserve fund, $50,419.51. Hot lunch fund, $12,519.81. Camp and activity account, $1,918.07. The HEMHS activity account, $3,156.75. The Saratoga Schools activity account, $4,792.41, for a grand total of $539,407.71.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the bills and grand total of $539,407.71. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, section 12, A.
It's on bills next month.
Oh, thank you. I was like, man, I'm gonna get this just done. You are for bringing that up.
Sorry.
And Joe and myself. Thanks, Karen. Item 12A. You forward governance policy leadership tabs 2.06, 2.07. 2.06. Any questions, comments, issues? Okay. 2.07, regarding personnel. And 2.08 is about community relations. Comments, questions, issues on any of them? Okay. Item B, exhibit GCB. This was edited just so that the appointment time matched the other committee. So do we need a motion to approve that one?
And the other thing was that it was potentially proposed to change that will consist of representatives of the professional staff, 2 or more board members to potentially 3 or more board members. So I did not make that change. I didn't think we had officially discussed that, but that was proposed. So if you guys want that changed, we can certainly.
I think it's been general operating principle, but it's been 3 or more. And basically, it's been 3 on, actually, a lot of times we've had 4 on that just because people have asked to be on it. But usually we have 3 on transportation and 3 on activities.
Even
3
in
on-
years when we didn't have 4, a lot of times we'd have 3 on the committee and 1 would come to listen in on the public meetings or least, so we had 4, and that's the way we have, so. This year we actually have 4 official members.
Any thoughts on the 2 versus 3 or more?
Well, if we put 3, then we have 3 members on each committee.
But if I say 2 or more, you can always have more.
Up to 4. That's not in there either, but because of the quorum thing.
I don't know that it's that big of a deal, really. No.
Okay, well, I will take a motion either way.
And this would just be on first and only reading. Just changing them up. Possibly.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we make the following changes to policy GCB. Moving the appointment date from January to December. And I'd also like to include to change the number from 2 to 3.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to make the following changes effective on first and only reading, to change the date to December and change it to 3 or more members. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. C, Georgia, anything from Region 5?
There's not a lot new, obviously the same discussion every time, COVID. They are starting to implement moving kids back into school, trying to keep social distancing and obviously like keeping them secluded for 14 days before they move them in. It's kind of been a challenge, and then I think they did some switching up of employees because they are starting the new day school in Glenrock. Douglas, I'm not sure. So they switched some employees around, but that's about all I have to report, really. Same thing, like I said, getting kids back to school.
Have they been, the kids that were at the one in Wilson?
CRV,
C Barbie?
yeah,
Have those students been able to stay?
not all of them. I think they might have kept like a few very high risk ones, but most of them went home. And did the distance learning, and actually they said it went pretty well because they had great parental involvement. I think it was kind of I don't know, like they just were really impressed with as much as the parents got involved in this. So I think maybe it was somewhat of a good thing, but like I said, now they're trying to move kids back in, but they think that they're going to lose some kids because of it, because I think maybe parents were able to kind of adapt to this and maybe, the kids reconnected and I'm not really sure, so.
Okay.
But they do think that the numbers are going to be a little less than they were. So. Which obviously hurts money.
But it's probably good for the kids.
It's good, well, for sure, it's good, but.
If they can do it. On the board member comments, Mike, why don't you go first and then Paul and do that.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'll keep it short. Really short. I just want to thank all the staff, educators, and administrators for helping wrapping up the end of the school without getting into any lawsuits that I know of. So I think that's a win. We got had a really good graduation at ATM, and it went really, really well. So I'd also like to thank Steve and Annette and everybody involved, making sure we were in compliance with the guidelines and stuff. So it was good. Also, congratulations to The finalist, Stephanie Long and Andy Ward, for Teacher of the Year and Staff Member of the Year. And so I'd also like to add to that Lindsay Boardman. She was nominated and for the Malin P. Simmons Award from the National Science Teacher Association, and she received the award. She was supposed to go to Boston in April, but the COVID hit and that was all canceled. But they did have a little Zoom session in which she was able to be recognized along with 15 other people around the United States who received the award. So I'd like to congratulate her as well. And that's all I got.
Okay, kind of piggyback on what Mike said, thanks to all the staff and everything during these weird times. Graduation, Annette, you did a fabulous job at the graduation I attended. Thank you very much. It was kind of one of the most awkward things in the world to have to nod at a kid and good job and not even be able to give him a high five or nothing. Thanks to all you board members as well for putting up with these weird times and dealing with all this stuff. I know you're getting grilled many questions as I am. Darren, thanks for kind of keeping an eye on that HES project. I knew, you was a pain in the butt as an inspector 30 years ago. I'm sure you can still bring that out. And then also, just to let everybody know that the next couple of months are going to be very, very instrumental on how we're going to bring these schools back open. We need to have meetings weekly, bi-weekly. I'll be here for them. I think we all need to make the commitment to get it open and do our best to stay united as best we can in front of the townspeople, to know that we are united front, that we are pushing to get everything open, get it back to normal, but we got to do it in a safe way. That's all I got.
Obviously a lot of what Paul said and Mike. Congratulations to Stephanie and Andy. Thanks to the A team for the work on the reopening plan. I know it's probably going to shift and change a lot before we actually get to the final plan, but as it has everything, I'm going to remain optimistic that our kids are going to be back in school and playing sports and riding the buses and doing everything that they should be doing, because I think that's what's best for them. And I also want to welcome our new teachers, Alyssa and Jamie. I think they're joining a great team at Carbon 2 and wish them the best.
I would echo a lot of what everybody said. Stephanie and Andy are two fantastic individuals to be teacher and staff of the year. Look forward to Stephanie's work in the 6th grade room next year. We won't miss Joe nearly as bad, even though we will miss him. I have this little coat hanging here that Mrs. Val Jennings got our FCLA national qualifiers, and that's pretty cool because she works in District 1 and is the FCLA advisor over there, so it's awesome. And other than that, I'm kind of with Georgia. Hopefully we can get through this and get our kids back in school and look forward to normal life as it, we're going with normal. I'm not doing the new normal. So.
I want to thank all the board members before me that said everything I was going to say, so. It's hard to come up with anything else when you get down to the middle of the end class. Thanks to central office staff for keeping things running and going. We appreciate that more than we can say, so. And Bill, thanks for keeping us straight. So, thank you. That's all I appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Charlie. It's hard to come up with anything new, but yeah, I just want to thank everybody for all the work that's been put in, trying to almost foresee what the potential might be, so that we can open the schools and yet still stay within the parameters of safety and the health of the students and the faculty. And the community, actually, because it's such a big picture. Okay, I'm done.
Thanks, Joe. I was on some board chairman Zooms and stuff before graduation, and one of the things that came up, some school districts were meeting every week as a board. And I'm just thankful that we didn't have to do that or choose to do that. Part of back to the things about letting the superintendent do his job and the administrative team do their job. I mean, they hired the man to district, appreciate what they've done. I'm excited for the couple that are coming on, and I hope you guys don't take it too offensive if some of us want to push back for, against some of the state regulations a little bit, if we seem that they're overzealous, if we feel like that's the best use of kids and communities, and try to keep things in balance. And, we have to follow the rules, but we also have to, do what we feel is best for the kids in the community. I agree a lot with what Georgia said, that being a normal life is probably the healthiest, with being smart about minimizing risk, not just blindly doing it.
I really don't have much to add. Big congratulations to Stephanie and Andy, both of them are really well deserved. I too am excited for sixth grade next year. And thanks to everyone. It's been a lot of hard work.
Last, should I just not have a comment at all? Would that be shocking? Thank you to everyone in the district and what everybody else has. That's as close as I come to speech.
Okay. All right, there is no executive session needed at this time. The next meeting date will be a Wednesday, so make note of that if you're not used to this July. Maybe I'm the only one that's ever showed up on a Monday in July. It's like, oh, it's 2 days later, but Wednesday, July 15th, 6 p.m. here at Central Office. And then we will also have a budget hearing immediately following that meeting as well. And we will have one right after this meeting, but I'm good. So if you have something. Okay, I go ahead and adjourn this regular board meeting. Okay, now I open the Carbon 2 School District budget amendment meeting. Sally.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, you have before you a proposed amendments to the general fund budget. As I've stated, we were up quite a bit in our revenues for the fiscal year of 1920. And so I've amended the budget to reflect $690,000. It says 700, but I was rounding in the comments, but it's $690,000 to raise the revenue, and then in the same breath to raise the expenses. And I allocated 160,000 to the 1,000 area, 40,000 to the 2,000 area, 200,000 to the 3,000 area, and then 290,000 to the operating transfers, which will give us the flexibility to absorb the bonus, to spend as much money as we can between now and June 30th, so that we don't have to worry about sending money back to the state with our cash carryover. I didn't say that. The state doesn't like to hear those things. So in order to approve the budget amendment, someone needs to read the resolution and then adopt the resolution as an amendment to your general fund budget. You have any questions? Thank you.
No, I'm too shaky.
Didn't have much air.
And I don't have COVID.
Okay, I'll read it. Budget amendment resolution. Whereas on the 15th day of June, 2020, the budget officer filed with the Board of Trustees of Carbon County School District Number 2 proposed budget amendments for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020. And whereas a summary of such proposed budget amendments were entered into the board minutes, a notice of a public hearing on such budget together with said summary was posted in 3 conspicuous places in the district. And whereas a public hearing was held concerning such budget amendments on the 15th day of June 2020, at which time all interested parties were given an opportunity to be heard. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Carbon County School District Number 2 that such budget is amended and is hereby adopted and, subject to future amendment, is in the effect for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020. Be it further resolved that the following appropriations continue as made as of and for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020, and that those respective expenditures applicable to each department and fund shall be limited to the amounts hereby appropriated, subject to future amendment. Appropriations as amended, general fund, 19,200,000. Total appropriations as amended, 19,200,000. Dated this 15th day of June, 2020.
Second.
Moved and seconded to amend the budget to the total appropriation of 19,200,000. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion passes. It is a shame we couldn't send the extra to the state and then get it like in 2 years. We
Yeah.
might need it. That seems very silly right now to not have, extend the carryover amount. Okay, before I close this, there's 3 copies here that each of you needs to sign of that budget amendment, as well as the bills. So I'm gonna start with you, Karen. I'm gonna sign them. And then, okay, thank you.
Hey, James, do you want my e-signature on that or?
I just signed left-handed really badly.
Yeah, that'll do.
I think since you're not here, we have a quorum, you're fine. We'll sign it with.
Okay.
Voted, and Dana can do what she wants about that. Okay, I adjourn the budget hearing.